Christmas! I'm Amanda Marcotte. Here at Standing Room Only, we're going to take a break from the culture war nonsense for the holidays. But I do have to point out that at Fox News, it's time to double down. The way the right's favorite network covers Christmas is, let's just say, it's weird. They are constantly telling their audience that the immigrants and the liberals are coming to steal your Christmas away. My guest is Salon's senior critic, Melanie McFarland. She can really analyze the visual language of how propaganda works on TV. She and I are going to dissect this madhouse. Welcome to Standing Room Only. So I'm so excited for our guest today. It's Melanie McFarland. She is Salon's TV and movie critic, and she's so great at analyzing the visual language of television and especially some of the weirdest crap that you see on places like Fox News. So who else but Melanie to talk about how Fox News veers between corny stuff and rage bait. The rage bait is terrible, but I was really struck by the corny stuff and how uncanny and weird it is. So that's what I want to subject you to.
Oh, good.
First of all.
We're friends, I can tell.
All right, everybody, should we get the celebration started?
Yeah. These kids promised me they're not going to be quiet if I put the microphone in their face. Santa, do you like milk?
Oh, yes.
Oh, and
yeah.
whole milk? Vitamin D?
Whole milk is fine.
Okay, that's
All right,
great.
nope.
A Christmas tree farm is joining the fight to stop a proposed AI energy project in Maryland.
It's a tree farm, not growing food. The alternative would be some liberals going to put some giant solar panels on that land, and you're not going to be growing any Christmas trees either. Everybody needs to get on board. You know what? Buy a fake tree.
Oh, dagger right in my heart, Dagan.
What? I have a fake tree.
Dagan. Oh.
Oh, I have a beautiful
Dagan.
real tree.
Dagan.
Coming up, no time for this.
I know, but I can't afford the tree.
It's the Great Christmas Showdown.
Let's do this! We have done nothing right.
Can I get an amen?
Amen!
Don't let carolers in your home.
Hide your wallets, everybody!
Jingle bells!
Yeah, we did! Yeah, we did! Big comfort and joy! All tidings of comfort and joy! Merry Christmas!
My husband's an amazing cook, and so he'll do some of that. And then, you know, everybody chips in.
Your husband cooks. That's very progressive. Merry Christmas.
So the clip with Kennedy like dry humping the air while dressed like a Christmas tree.
What's happening there?
That is a program that they do to entice people to join Fox Nation, which is their extra service that you can watch online.
And Kennedy being, you know, formerly of, it's the Kennedy of like the MTV days from way, way back. So what happened, Kennedy? What happened? Sometimes when I'm watching these clips, I'm going to plug a show that is not news, but is still great, and people are still discovering it. There is a scene in the second season of Andor where you can see someone in this version of Coruscant that is sliding into autocracy, and they're watching a TV show, and it's very much like this. It's just a variety show with nothingness, but it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, the whole thing of like, hide your wallet, don't let the carolers in. Is that camp? Is it a joke? Like, what, are they serious? Like, I don't understand what's happening here.
I think you watch a lot of the like banter on Fox News when they're trying to be cheerful and they're trying to be happy. And it is just the strangest stuff. And then they are often sliding in those drunk uncle lines like, oh, those progressives, you know, they let men cook. Oh, they want to take your Christmas tree farm. And it's like, weren't we supposed to be having a good time here?
Right. And, you know, there are people who actually have women who cook and men who cook in their households. My husband made me dinner last night. What's the alternative? If you're alone and you're a man, are you just going to say like, oh no, hungry man again? I mean, you could, I guess. But, I mean, it's very strange.
And I think, to your point about Andor, this is a really good example, which is people see that and they're like, that's insane. What a crazy thing to think. But it's true. There is this tendency in authoritarian societies to numb people with just the most banal crap.
They can't even get the bland programming right. I mean, I think it's hilarious that the question they asked to Santa was, do you drink milk? Why would you, when you have Santa standing there with a bunch of kids, ask them something as not just anodyne, but bizarre? Like, what? There's so many things you could say, like, Santa, do you have a wish for goodwill for the world, or that kind of thing? Santa, what does it feel like that you're totally made up? Oops. I mean, no, that's me. You know what I mean? I mean, there's all these different options that they could have had, and just that they chose, like, what kind of milk do you drink? God forbid he said chocolate. That would be DEI. But yeah, I mean, I kind of feel for anybody who is kind of trapped in this snow globe of weirdness, that they're kind of trying to peddle joy, but can't leave behind the message of negativity.
Yeah, and on that point, I have another clip for you. Even Fox News knows on some level that doing the same, they're trying to ban you from saying Christmas, Happy Holidays is bad. Their shtick has been going on for decades now, and it's getting a little old. So they're actually trying something new on for size, which is, let's make this about race. And I think you're going to enjoy this one, Melanie.
Oh, boy.
I was reporting on the war on Christmas on the O'Reilly Factor 20 years ago, and we won. And I thought that was it. But now, 2025, 20 years later, there's a new war on Christmas, but it's different. The far left does not want immigration enforcement in America.
As you'll see on your screens, a woke church set up a truly horrifying nativity scene. I guess the war on Christmas is back, isn't it?
St. Susanna's in Dedham, Massachusetts, is a suburb of Boston, removed the Holy Family from the nativity scene entirely. They replaced all of that with a sign that said, ICE was here.
They're hijacking the birth of her savior to push open borders, amnesty, and also a loss of sovereignty.
Many conservatives rightly are horrified about the left politicizing Christians' core values and pushing, suicidal empathy like open borders, et cetera, and zero bail laws and defunding the police.
I think this is so offensive and deeply misguided. Christianity and religion always should stand above the partisan nature of politics. You should never turn Jesus into a political football, and that's what happened here.
Ari, I take it maybe a little bit differently. I think this helps to endanger the immigration and customs enforcement agents on the ground. I think this is part of the cruel rhetoric, whether these churches meant it that way or not. What it accomplishes is furthering of the idea that there's evil in what they're doing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when I'm thinking about the spirit of Christmas, like Bill O'Reilly, I imagine rounding up families and deporting them. That's how I think of Christmas. How about you, Melanie?
I do too. And I would like to give Bill O'Reilly the gift of moisturizing, but that's another subject. I'm going to admit my bias because I'm a Chicagoan. I went to college in Evanston, and I celebrate the fact that Evanston is standing up like this. But look, you are talking about a family that was, no matter how you slice it, was Middle Eastern. Was from a part of the world with a lot of brown people.
You mean Jesus's family?
Yes, yeah. It's irrefutable that Jesus was brown. These are this very same people who are talking about, like, how terrible. It's like, well, who is ICE targeting? ICE is targeting brown people. So that is what these churches are doing to make a point. So calling that evil, and then the hilarious thing, like, you're endangering ICE agents on the ground. Well, Evanston is just north of Chicago, where there's that famous picture of ICE agents shooting a priest in the face. That whole idea of religion not being used as a political football is hilarious, given all the rhetoric that's come in the moments before that came out of someone's mouth. But that whole idea of standing up for your community, serving your community, that's part of the church. Anybody who's watching that and is kind of nodding at that and then goes to church on Sunday is not listening to what your pastor is saying, or they are, and their pastor is maybe taking the wrong thing from what I learned what pastors should be doing in terms of serving the community and serving God.
Yeah, I grew up in El Paso, Texas, and a lot of people do the Mexican tradition for, instead of caroling, you go from house to house. It's sort of a setup in a neighborhood. You go from house to house and you sing the same song, which is you are Joseph and Mary asking to be let in, and then they sing a song back telling you no, and then at the last house they bring you in and do cookies and stuff, and it's very moving, even for someone who's not a Christian like me. And it's like that should be the meaning of the nativity scene to me.
Yeah, you are looking at a scene where you have a baby, a mother, a father, 3 wise men, and a bunch of lambs, if you're lucky. You might get some lambs, you might get a cow, depending on the church's budget. So when I saw that, I wasn't just like, yeah, go, progressive values. I was saying, this is the church kind of making the point that these are your neighbors. There are children who are being rounded up by ICE with their families, So that's the point that they're making. And if Fox News is sitting there looking and shaking their heads and saying that's endangering ICE agents, then they are conveniently ignoring, again, that these same ICE agents were, attacked a member of the clergy unarmed. You can't really square that circle, can you? I mean, there's no way that you can look at that and actually be a person who is trying to live by those values, like Christian values.
On Fox News, Christmas isn't just about being anti-immigrant. It is about being apparently Joy Reid specifically. So that's our next clip.
I was feeling good until this next story. Jingle Bells is a classic Christmas carol to most of us. Our kids learn how to sing it. It's awesome, right? Well, according to Joy Reid, remember her? She says that the beloved holiday tune is racist. That far-left liberal host shared this video on Instagram, which claims, quote, Jingle Bells was written by a Confederate soldier making fun of black people.
Okay, yes, the writer of this song was a Confederate sympathizer. And the Boston Historian found that, I guess, the earliest documented performance was by a white minstrel group in the 1850s. So there's some kernel of truth there. But just like, this sort of distorted worldview of Joy Reid, throughout the time, no one views it as a racist song. And even this historian mentions that the song inherently itself is not a racist tune. And so she's sort of trying to slander people who enjoy this song today of ties to something that is non-existent and that is not relatable anymore.
We're allowed to go forward from history, national anthem, all these things. I sing it at games in my history as a news anchor. I've been black the entire time.
This is what liberals do. This is a beautiful song. It brings about beautiful memories. It's something we all love and cherish, and to even touch it is stupid. But there's a greater effort here. They've always done this. They don't like you. These people don't like you. They've never liked you.
And, to go a step further than Charles, I think the left's goal isn't just to make black people miserable. I think it's to make all of us miserable. You look at the woke agenda in general. If you're a so-called oppressor in the hierarchy, well, you have to have constant shame and guilt about the privilege that you've experienced. And there's no possible way that you can ever atone for that privilege.
I just want to start by saying Joy Reid did not say in that clip that Jingle Bells is racist. She said it was written for minstrel shows and this history is being erased. That's a very different thing than you are racist because you sing Jingle Bells. But I don't know, Melanie, do you feel oppressed by the song Jingle Bells?
Honestly, I feel more oppressed by the ubiquity of the Mariah Carey song. I'm sorry, I said it, and I know, like, we both have been black the entire time. So
you're gonna blow some people's minds. Every year, there's some people that find that out about Mariah Carey, and are like,
what? They're still finding that out about me. So I mean, hi. This is one of those things that I think that has, in the past year, we have seen accelerate, which is the erasure of history. And Joy Reid talking about the erasure of history and actually putting it in the context of the holidays is not out of bounds. I think that there's this whole notion that learning the truth about history and learning the origins of things is going to somehow make somebody who lives today feel evil, turn them into evil for liking something. There's a ton of different origins of things that I think that even without race, people would be surprised at what they mean today is its total opposite, if that makes any sense. So learning about those things is just interesting. I mean, so I wanted to talk about this show that I went to here in Seattle, and it's called War on Christmas. And one of the things they talk about is the origin, and they don't do it as a lecture, it's very funny, but they're talking about the pagan origins of Christmas. So if there's somebody who is sitting in the audience and watching this and has this very kind of sterile and very straight view of Christmas, they're going to be absolutely offended. That doesn't mean that the history doesn't exist. It doesn't delegitimize your feelings about Christmas and what you celebrate. It's just something that's interesting to know. And you can go ahead and continue and have your cookies and vitamin D whole milk, you know, at your leisure. And just saying what the origins of Jingle Bells were, you know, how it started, what it was, you know, what it was, how it was originally performed, shouldn't give you shame around singing Jingle Bells. You should just know. It's like, hey, you should just know this is what it's about. But that doesn't mean that I you know, would get up in the middle of a performance of Jingle Bells and leave. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, and it's one of those things where it's like the crux of their argument is knowing things is bad. And they use like this faux moral outrage and sense of victimization to sort of train their audience to think it's bad to learn things and know things.
Right.
And I really just wish people stopped and asked, why is someone trying to keep you from learning something?
Right. And why are they utilizing Harris Faulkner to say like, ooh, Joy Reid, you know, like, look, I'm a black person and I can say there's another bad black. I didn't have any problem with it, you know, and that kind of thing. I've got to tell you, whenever I'm in a room with people who want to just have those conversations, just makes me want to have real feelings and be impolite. I mean, I think that was the part of those clips that bothered me the most, is that you're using your black anchors and your black commentators to slag on another black person, you know, when there's so much other like racist, race baiting stuff in your coverage, that I think that kind of thing, you know, what it's doing is it's perpetuating exactly what Fox News is, you know, trying to say that they're criticizing. You're perpetuating this whole idea of like, here, we're going to have some black people talk about another black person being racist and give you permission to not actually learn about this part of history that is offensive, you know, and actually, and not in terms of like saying like, you just understand it, just understand that this comes from an offensive tradition. That doesn't mean you shouldn't sing Jingle Bells, just means just be aware of the history. That's all she's saying. And then she used Harris Faulkner and she used, you know, other black commentators say like, this is what they do. It's just infuriating.
Yeah. One last clip I'm going to make you suffer through, Melanie.
Okay.
Because this is what Fox News thinks is the kind of Trump coverage that their audience is just really going to love.
Every time I make a speech, I see signs, we love our First Lady. We love our First Lady. They love our First Lady. What can I do? I don't like it because I think they like her more than they like me, and I am not happy about it. I am not happy. We're going to have a discussion about this. But they love our First Lady. And, you know, Melania did all of these decorations, and she's gotten great reviews. The first year she did the trees, that's right. The first year, year one, she did the trees, they were white, and they were so, you know, snow, beautiful. And the fake news hit her hard. The next year, they were red, gorgeous red. They hit her hard. The next year, they were another color, they hit her. I said, baby, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Make the trees green. Let them just be green. They're so beautiful. Let them be green. Anyway, she has gotten the greatest reviews I've ever seen. And nobody has ever gotten reviews like this for the White House. I actually like the white ones better.
I can't take my eyes off of Melania trying to hold it together.
Yes. And there are times when it's almost, I wonder if there's somebody who's like standing off to the side out of the shot just going.
Yeah. It's like when I'm trying to get a picture of my cats and I'm like dangling the toy.
Yeah, exactly. It's like.
But she just doesn't stop herself from a big old sigh in the middle of it.
Yeah, just, oh. I mean, and then also like the reviews, the reviews. Who review? I mean, there's comment. That's unavoidable. When you have a gigantic, like, Dr. Seuss nightmare, taking over part of the White House.
He just will never not be thinking of himself as a reality TV show host reading Variety.
Yeah.
And like, that's all this is.
Nobody cares that much. I don't care that much about my tree. So, I mean, I think it's just a strange, one of the many multiple times a day that's a plea for attention.
I think half of it was him just wanting to give her a hard time for sitting around hoping he'll die. Honestly, he's just like, because he knows she hates doing the Christmas decorations. He knows that he makes her do them, and then he's going to make her stand there silently while he makes fun of her.
This is Melania not even trying, and I don't blame her. Like, just, it's one of those things where it's like, oh my gosh, I have a duty. Let's fly in from New York and just get this done. Like, let's get some designers thrown up. Oh, are we going to make the paper chains on the trees? Oh, maybe not. But let's go ahead and like put some weird markers on some, blank ornaments and call it like Kitty Christmas. So yeah, it's, God bless. At least she has something to do.
I like the Christmas spirit, the generosity towards our First Lady and her fuck Christmas attitude. Awesome. I think we can leave it at that. Thank you so much, Melanie. This has been fantastic. Hype yourself before we let you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna just say, like, please continue reading both of us on Salon. Amanda's great. Our culture team's great. You can follow me on Blue Sky at McTelevision. And also, let me hype the war on Christmas and just say, like, if you are in Seattle, you should see it. You can get tickets at shoesandpants.com. But I would encourage you that if you want to, wherever you are in the country or the world, go support a local Christmas performance. And I said Christmas. You can go support any of them. We have a Klingon Christmas Carol also going on here in Seattle. So if you need a little joy, just go and support your local arts.
Yeah, Christmas is camp. I mean, sorry, guys.
It's way camp, and nobody does camp like drag performers. So go support a drag performance and have a merry, merry holiday.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This is great. Before you go, I want to introduce you to Delilah and Ziggy. I've started to foster cats for adoption. Ziggy was born outside in the cold, and before the two came to my house, they had to live at the shelter. But since they've come to us, they've been thriving. Ziggy has started to play with toys, and Delilah just loves to purr. Soon they'll be ready for their forever homes. It's been a real reminder to me that even when times are bad, we can still find joy. We can still do some good in the world. And things can get better. I believe that they will. So let's make 2026 a better year. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I'll be back in the new year with new episodes. Thanks for watching Standing Room Only, and I'll see you on the other side. Oh, oh God, he's gonna fall off the desk. Boom! I've never seen a cat that moves like that. It's on the floor. If you want more Standing Room Only episodes, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Standing Room Only started as a newsletter, and it's free to read. Click the link to subscribe. I love tips. These political battles are playing out in our local communities, your family, your school, your neighborhood. If you have a story, go ahead and drop me a line, leave it in comments, and don't forget to subscribe.